Record. So, good evening, everybody. It is Thursday, the 3rd of May. We're into the 5th month already. Where the hell is the time going? But Thursday night means team training call. And tonight, again, we've got a very, very special guest on. Now, this guy contacted me just over a year or so ago now, and I remember it so clearly. I was actually out at a football game, and I got a text message from this guy, and he basically kind of just put it out there and just said to me, like, "Are you doing direct sellers?" And I didn't know who it was. I thought it was someone trying to wind me up, and I was very blunt with my answers. And I said to him, "Look, I'm at a football match tonight. I'll call you tomorrow." And anyway, that first phone call was kind of turned into this ultra weird but really funny kind of bromance that we've got. And I don't think there's a day that goes by now where we do not speak. And I remember when we launched him, we launched his business and launched him into the business. And we spent literally 2 weeks solidly back to back every single night at 9 o'clock, I think it was, for about half an hour, 45 minutes, just doing opportunity calls, literally one after another for 2 weeks solid. And I think we've done that 6 days a week for 2 weeks. So if any of you guys are wondering how you can launch teams or what the best way to do it, or is there a best way to do it, just call after call after call after call. And him and his wife have built an unbelievable business. They hit master seller in a very, very short space of time. But I guess more importantly than that is we're now, I class him as one of my best mates. And the first time that I ever saw him in person was at our wedding, which is literally a year ago in 2 days' time. And he turned up, and within 10 minutes of him being at the wedding, he was on the dance floor on his own, literally just dancing and boogieing and jiving and doing all the things that he does. And we woke up the following morning, or I think it was the following morning, or maybe a couple of days after the wedding, and we had a photo booth there, and the strips of cameras and pictures and whatever else. I'm not joking you, there was at least 4 strips, all of him on his own with various hats on and glasses and God knows what else. So I knew straight away that this is someone that I wanted to be around. This is someone that I wanted to spend my time with. And as I said, we've grown into very, very good mates now. He phones me up at 6 o'clock every morning just to make sure that I've slept well and that I'm looking after myself. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce tonight our guest, our special guest, Mr. Anthony Raspin. So, Raz, are you there?
Oh my, Paul.
Anthony.
Yes, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah. Whoa, I didn't know I had so many friends. I'm so popular tonight, eh? I'm so popular. So thank you, mate, for that introduction. I appreciate that so much, you know that. And yeah, our friendship, mate, it means more than anything than the network marketing. And so let me introduce to everybody who I am. What I'm going to do tonight is, because believe it or not, this is something probably one of the first times that I've actually done a training as such. I'm just normally me and just say how it is. So I have got a few things wrote down, so I will be looking left and right how I'm going to do it. But tonight I'm just going to sort of put my story into it as well, who I am, where I've come from, how long I've been involved in it, and I'll do a little bit of, in my opinion, some sort of training then. So first of all, my name's Anthony Raspin. I'm 44 years old now. I'm married to Mandy, the love of my life. We've been married now for 13 years. We've been together about 19 now. So I deserve a bloody medal. Anyway, we've got 3 lovely, lovely children. We've got Jack, who's 17, who's a little bit like me. Ugh, God, we're going through it at the moment. We've got Max, who's 8, who's an absolute sweetheart, and we've got Alice, who's the diva. She is in charge of it all. She's 5. Personal likes, I love dogs, really madly in love with my little dog Benjo, and I love doing things for charity. I've actually just 10 minutes ago just come in from a charity afternoon bike ride to do the Tour of the Yorkshire in one of our local towns, raising some more money for fun. So I do love doing things for others and raising money for charity as well. And you may gather that I do love socialising. So if there's any parties going down or anything like that, I'm there, and I'm probably the last one there as well. So yeah, I live in a little place called Goole, which is right in the middle of the country in East Yorkshire. We've got a really small-knit community. Everybody knows everybody. So sometimes that's probably good and bad as well. I've been the local milkman around here for 27 years. I'm just going to just drag it back a little bit. So from 7 years old to 16, my parents moved into a pub. So we all lived in a pub. So I was brought up with, I don't know, it's quite a different upbringing really, where we was having a lot of fun all the time. I got involved in a lot of groups, started playing darts, pool, dominoes, bingo, and all things like that since the age of 13, 14. Got to 16 years old, left school with no qualifications. In fact, left a little bit earlier, to be honest with you, than we should have done, because I got a little job in a butcher shop and he wanted me to go full time there, which is one of my best mates now, Kevin, which was still part of, but he sacked me after about 9 months for being late. He sacked me early, so I thought, I'll show you. I want to go be a bloody milkman. I'll show you who's late or not. So 27 years later, I am still a milkman. But for 23 of those years of being a milkman, I was doing between 70 and 80 hours a week, 6 days a week, self-employed, just work hard. And do you know what? I just got on with it because we had to pay the bills. So that was just one thing what we did. And any more business come my way, I used to take it. Well, that's slightly changed around about 5 years ago now, when I got started in network marketing. But being a milkman, I was always involved like in a cash business. So, and being a young lad, brought up in the pub life, football groups, gambling and stuff like that. Cash coming in and cash going out was easy come, easy go sort of thing. So never really saved a load of money, but I never went short. We always had a nice house, nice car, did nice things, nice clothes, but never really saved anything. So about 5 years ago, come across network marketing. And what that did, I got involved in the health and nutrition. And what it is, one of my friends, Rich, put a post up on Facebook advertising this health and nutrition product. And I just says to him, mate, I put a bit of timber on, I'll have a go for you. So I whipped shirt off, took the before picture, 10 days later, put the after picture on, and my inbox exploded saying, what's that you doing? Get me some. So believe it or not, this Richard was introduced by Andy Roberts. So this is where the connection's going with likes of Andy and Ben. So I got around about 19 messages after the first 2 days after putting this picture on. And I rung this Rich up and I said to him, look, all these people are texting me, can you get me 19 of these, what we call belly busters in the day? So that's what happened. And he got me the product and I give him all the money. And he just says, well, do you want to keep any of the profit? I said, no, mate, I'm not into all that stuff. I don't know what you're even doing. Never even heard of network marketing. And that happened for about the next week and a half while I was out socialising. We did about 60 of these 10-day belly busters and he made about 700 quid. And he says to me, why don't you have a look at it and earn a few quid? And this is when Ben Cocaine gave me a call and says, look, who are you? You're selling all this stuff. And I got to what we call supervisor position very quickly. And I just become an absolute, I got involved, become a bit of a retail monster, sold loads of products and made really, really good money, just basically selling product, but not building a team. And got introduced to Ben. And again, this is where all the connections come in with Ben and Andy. And we've created some really, really good friendships. And that's what I like about network marketing, the friendships that you create. And even when I left that company and do direct sales, I still keep in touch with all, because it's at the end of the day with people first. So I never really lose that friendship with everybody else. So, and it was just, I wasn't looking for anything else. And one morning I always did do a bit of personal development. And I come across a sharp, smart guy, and the name is Mr. Austin Zuloff. And it really, really, really super impressed me on this particular podcast that I listened to. And I didn't know what product he did. Once I listened to it, I sort of looked on his Facebook page, and all I could see him is having fun and drinking wine and stuff like that. So, cut a long story short, I got in touch with the guy. We arranged a call that day, and what he said to me and how he come across, I thought, this guy is just one hell of a guy, and I just want to be part of whatever he's doing. So I did Ben, will you take a look at this for me, because I'm not really sure. Ben sort of has always said that I played a smart move doing that. And after doing sort of calls with Paul, because Austin introduced me to Shayo and then Paul, we connected really well. And then Ben says to me, he rung me up one day, he goes, Raz, I can't stop thinking about it, I'm in. So I looked at Mandy, I says, Ben Cocaine wants to get in. So she goes, what are you going to do? I said, I best sign up myself. And I, do you know what I mean? So at that point, I'd not signed up at then. So straight away, got signed up because I knew Ben. So within 5 minutes, I got half my investment back. Within 10 minutes, I got all my investment back. So I rung my best mate up. I got excited. And I just said to him, look, you need to get involved in what I've just done. And just created momentum and excitement with the way that I was approaching people and the thing that I was doing back then was telling everybody about it, just with my excitement, not spamming or anything like that, just really excited. We got to master seller in 13 days. And remember, this is without no product. And then we got to double master seller in 3 months. So we personally enrolled 18 people within 3 months. And this was just with the absolute excitement of it. And this was all from a call, what I did from Austin. So I always say, be open when people say to you, oh, what do you think? So when I transfer that now to people, I said, look, check this video out, see what you think, get back in touch with me, I'll call you. So I always speak to people regarding this opportunity. And the rest is history. I mean, we've got a great community now together, and we're having lots of fun. And that's one thing that I've always said to myself during this network marketing. So I have got obviously another job, which going back to doing this 78 hours a week, now that allowed me the extra money for the last 4 or 5 years with network marketing. I only actually do between 20 and 30 hours a week now, 3 days a week. I can spend taking the kids to school, more time at home, more dog walks, and spending a bit more time doing this network marketing, because the extra money from network marketing has allowed me to have a bit of a better life by employing somebody on my milk round as well. And that has made a big difference, because it was tiring and it's just eased a lot as well. So I just like the industry and give that kudos, just because it's allowed me to do that. And that can happen to anybody, because it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. So that's a little bit of my story, really, and just having fun as well is a big thing to me, because you don't want to be beating yourself up. You're going to have some bad days, you're going to have some good days, but it's all about having that fun. So that's me done then, Paul. I'm only joking. You look to me concerned then. Look at all these babies. Hey.
We've got you booked for another 2 hours yet, mate.
No, there's only 5 minutes here, and then we'll have some questions, mate. So, yeah. Because, like I say, I had wrote some things down, so I'm not going to just read it off it. I will put my own words into it. But if you're doing this right as a business, you are going to get a lot of no's, and that is normal. And what I say to people is, do not get emotionally attached to a no or the outcome, because you are going to get that. That means you are asking enough people to get them no's. And I did write this down as well. And emotions are a luxury we cannot afford, because we have bills coming in. So commit to your commitment and be honourable, to be honest to yourself. So that's basically is look in the mirror and think to yourself, if this is going to work, it is going to be down to me. And if you are going to have those, get sort of self-attached and get emotional to those no's, then it isn't going to work. You just got to let it go and then go on to the next. Does it bother you? Yeah, of course it does. But eventually over time, it does get easier, and you just sort of think, you know what, that's not a problem, next sort of thing. And no means not yet, as we all know, don't we? Because I mean, I've enrolled 2 or 3 people after when they've said no. So again, if you keep attracting to them and having fun, they will eventually come to you anyway. So the biggest thing for me regarding this business is being consistent. In my opinion, it's probably the main thing. I mean, just that week that I just had doing that charity ride to Brighton, I obviously missed a week from network marketing. And you know when they say if you miss a day of network marketing, you put yourself behind a week. If you miss a week, you put yourself behind a month. And it's so true. If you don't touch your business daily, then I can see that you need to be touching it daily. So you've got to be consistent. So yeah, so it's like being a fisherman. Always keep that line in the pond, so you're always touching that business every day. But it is going to be down to your desire on how much you put into your business. So that first chat with your upline when you first start is, what do you want out of this? How much time you're going to put into this, and stay consistent to that time that you say that you're going to put into it. So the 6 sort of things that I do on a day-to-day basis is definitely the personal development. I mean, without that personal development, I never would have come across Austin. I never would have probably improved like I've done all the network marketing, again, in my opinion, over these last 5 years. Because personal development, even if you're having a bad day, good day, you stick personal development, everything just becomes clear again, and it gets that reason why you're going to do it again, and it gets that excitement back. So my personal development is... I do copy some mentors, and they always say, if you're going to copy somebody, copy the right cat, the people that are moving, people that are actually doing the things right now. So my 3 people that I copy, I won't say I copy exactly what they do. They say, don't be the DJ, be the songwriter, or the other way around, be the songwriter, not the DJ, because you can take their material but put your own spin on it. Definitely putting your own spin, because at the end of the day, you've got to be you, unless people will see straight through you. So I copy these 3 people. I copy Ray Igdon, Nina Mora, and Austin Zuloff. So Nina's a fiery character. Austin's very soft-spoken, but his knowledge is unreal. And Rank Makers with Ray Igdon, he just gives me them action steps to follow. So those are the 3 people that I follow on a day-to-day basis. Watch all the videos and just keep going back to them, because those are the guys that inspire me. So basically what I'm saying is, copy the people that inspire you. And obviously the personal development regarding your reading and your audios is so key. So find what really touches you and run with that. I post in groups every day. So I spend a little bit of time on social media. I'm not really a scroller. I'm productive with my time on social media. So when I say posting groups, I'll actually go to groups like for example, groups in Germany. I put something on about 2 weeks ago, not saying, hey, join my business. It was like having great fun with my new wine business coming soon, and then got a little bit of interaction going. Then the following week, I just put another post in the comments, so it brings it back to the top again. So it doesn't look as though that you're reposting all the time. You're just commenting. A week later, then it's going to bring it back to the top of the pile again within that group as well. So I'm in around about 6 or 7 groups, different countries, putting out there what we've got to offer. Just basically saying we're having lots of fun. The attraction marketing to me is probably the main thing, and that is not just your wine business or any other business, about who you are as well. So I always try and do 3 or 4 to 1 posts. So 3 or 4 about my own life, which is with... You do know that I always take Mickey out on Mandy, don't you? So I do that quite a lot. My milk round, my sports, my socialising, my dog, and then a business post. So I'd probably say 4 to 1. So I think the attraction marketing is a big thing. Always add to my network as well. So I always try to get 2 to 5 people every day, and that is by communicating with them in these groups, trying to get them and add them as a friend. So my network's growing that way as well. So their friends starting to see that their group's growing as well. Follow-up's a big thing as well. So I always do my follow-ups every single day. So the people I've sent the video to, I get a time and a commitment off them, so when to follow up with. So to me, the follow-up is another really big thing. And these are my day-to-day actions. And then number 6 is action. So taking action on the first 5. So to me, it's a big thing that you do that on a day-to-day basis, because if you don't do it one day, then you're getting behind the following day with your follow-ups. So that's do your personal development, post in the groups, bit of attraction marketing on your social media, add to your network, do your follow-ups, but do the action. So that was a basic segment on touching your business daily. Again, whatever time you can put in, and that is down to your desire and how far you want to take this. The second one I've put down is marry the activities and divorce the results. So every single day, and it's a big thing for me, is I have like a working diary. So it's always full, and I'm already into next week as well. And what it tells me, everything that I've got to do on that particular day, if it's in that diary, it gets done, and I make sure that it's ticked It tells me how my prospects are, who I've sent the video to, when my fit club is, go to Tesco's, sports massage, take the laptop in. But altogether, obviously my work's down there as well. The first thing that you'll see maybe into next week. So Monday, opportunity call, 8:30. Thursday, training call, 9 p.m. Wine social next Saturday, 9 p.m. So my work goes in first, and then I plan around everything else, because to me, Monday night is the opportunity call. Thursday night is the training call, and then obviously my socials as well. Because if we're not building our business, then we aren't going to grow. So to me, you build your life around your work commitments if you want to take this to the next level. On a Monday as well, I always put my goals down. I'm not going to get people to raise their hands or anything like that. But to me, if you don't write your goals down physically, then it probably won't happen. And then it'll be all over the place as well. So that's daily, weekly, and then you've got long-term goals. I've got pictures in my house with new cars, holiday destinations, villas. It's reminding me what and why I'm doing this as well. So that's really quite important to me as well, seeing the end result. So your daily goals and your weekly goals to me are really, really important. And again, when we say marry the activities, divorce the results, one thing that we can determine is how many people we prospect. So if we're going to say to ourselves, look, let's prospect 5 people a day, we can control that. What we can't control is how many people is going to become customers or how many people are going to become members, because we don't know. Back to the don't get emotionally attached to say no. You may have to go through 20, 30 before you get that one yes. So again, but we can determine on and how many people can prospect. So if you're staying consistent from the one, then you'll be able to get, if you're consistently prospecting, you're going to eventually get them yeses, which will then turn into members and into business partners and customers. So another one that I'd like to bring up is just basically keeping it simple. Follow the 5-step system. That's what it's there for. We never really had a system in my last company, and that was maybe due to my fault as well, but I didn't really know any different. I was, really good at retail, but I wanted to build a team that didn't really happen. And that, to me, in my opinion, is because we never had a system. So if I can ask anyone to say, please follow this system because it's there for a reason, because it works. Definitely don't go into overtraining mode, because that can become dangerous, especially when you're bringing new people in. Yes, learn the basics, and definitely 100% stay around the campfire, which is obviously the groups and your uplines and the calls. But if you had to sort of like learn everything, and you had to do this, you had to do that, and study this and say that before and start, you'll never get it done. And I always use the example of either read about riding a bike or actually going out and riding a bike. Yes, you can read and get all the knowledge of reading about a bike, but you will be able to ride a bike if you actually get out there and do the action. Yes, you might fall off, but get back on. And so the person who definitely does the action and goes and rides the bike will definitely ride a bike quicker than the person who reads how to ride a bike. And this is no different. So don't think that you have to go and learn everything before you go and prospect. And a lot of people do that. Just go out, do the action, and you're learning and earning as you're going along. Because at the end of the day, our job is to just basically pique their interest and point them to the tools. That's why we have the system. So if we, again, with our excitement and doing steps 1 and 2, which is your attraction marketing and so on, you're going to then pique people's interest. So point them to the tools, because so many times I've sold something to somebody and then bought it back about 5 minutes later because I'm still rattling on. So I think it's say less and talk to more people. That's in my opinion as well. And it's just the same old, be the messenger and not the message. So again, it makes it so duplicatable as well. So the person coming in think, oh God, I won't be able to remember that. I can't tell them that, oh, I won't bother. So again, it just makes it so duplicatable, and that's what we're all about. So how I get into conversations with cold market and hot market. So cold market, Paul put me onto this about a month ago, and I know quite a lot of people use it now. And it's an app called Shapra, which is SHAPR. First 3 days, it was like, Paul, no one's interacting with me. What's matter? But now I can't get enough people. I'm talking to loads now. It's great. So it's a great app. Basically, it's like it's like Tinder. It's like a dating site, but in business sort of thing. So I'm really good at flirting and stuff like that. So this is working a treat for me. So I'm getting into a lot of conversations at the moment, but they're trying to give me their deal, and I'm listening. And then eventually over time, I'm turning it around, and now I'm sending videos now on, not through Shapra, getting them onto my social media and sending it through there. So that is a good one to get involved in, this Shapra, and you can have some fun with it as well. But listen to what they've got to say, because obviously people like to be heard. But we know now, we've got knowledge, we're following a system, so we can turn that around pretty quickly. But so hats off to you, Paul, for putting us on that. And if anyone's not on this Shapra, definitely, I've got the hang of it now. The first few days, it was like, what's all this about? But it's a good app, really good app. So yes, that's one of the cool markets. The other one is I join groups as well, not just to do with wine, because again, our job is to try and build new relationships with people. So, for example, I've got a Range Rover Evoque. So I've got in the Range Rover Evoque club. So now I'm saying, oh, I don't know what colour my next Range Rover is going to be. People are interacting, and I look for the people that basically comment the most and talk the most, and look who the admin is as well, because I know that they will be wanting to keep the group going. So I know that they'll have a lot of people following them. So again, I'm getting them onto my network as well, because the admin is a personal friend. So find something what you're really interested in. It could be anything. Like I'm in a lot of like trainers. I like buying trainers, so I'm in training group. I'm in socializing groups. I'm in restaurant groups. So you'll find something other than wine, which is your interest in. Get in their group, start talking to them, build a relationship, and get them into your network, because eventually they will then start seeing through your attraction marketing what you're actually doing, and then that's where the questions will start answering. Definitely build that relationship. My warm market, I'll give a couple on my warm market, is if you are just a scroller on Facebook, for example, find out who's online at that time. You might have 100, 200 people who's actually online at that any particular time, and start building relationships, start building conversations with them, saying, hey, not heard from a while, how are you doing? How's kids? How's your job? This, that, another. And just be normal, just be human, just basically don't just get into conversations because you think you might want as a customer or a member. Just get into conversations, and eventually you are going to say, oh, what are you up to now? Oh, I've got a wine social, or I've got a wine and tapas night this Saturday, or I've got this. Hey, why don't you come? It'd be nice to catch up with you. It'd be nice to see you. And what it does do as well, if you haven't connected with them for a while on Facebook, with the algorithms, it will stop showing you their feed. But what that will do, once you reconnect, it will bring them back onto your feed again. So that's solid for that as well. And one of my favourite ones, which I use a hell of a lot, is the happy birthday message. So we all know when it's someone's birthday on social media, especially Facebook, it tells you whose birthday it is that day. I don't generally send them a happy birthday message that day. I wait till the following day, and I just basically say, so I hope you had a great birthday. This is in private messenger, not on the news feed. Hope you had a great birthday. What did you get up to? Have you got a bad head? So you just get into that conversation. That's what I used to do around about 5 months ago, just by text. But what seemed to work out better, and you're probably getting 9 out of 10 responses back, is actually sing them a song on Messenger. And that will, man, they stop. Just think, stop fantasy. But that's what I do. I love singing anyway. I'm a really good singer, as you all know. It's like, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Nina. I'd sent Nina one this morning, for example. She responded straight back. Is that gone off, Paul? No, I'm good. Yeah. It responded straight back, did Nina. So it works all the time. And what it does, they will all send you a message saying, oh, thank you so much, I appreciate that. And then you're getting back into that conversation. And again, if you haven't spoken for a long time, it's going to reconnect you. It is definitely going to reconnect you. So they'll start seeing your post again. But that works a treat. 9 out of 10 guaranteed they will respond to their happy birthday message. They will do. Because you're not trying to sell them. You just tell them you're just being nice because it was the birthday. And you're saying, sorry for missing yesterday's birthday. So I was so busy about that. So one left to go before a few questions. So my final thoughts, and remember, always be excited, because the reason why is We own and operate an exclusive premium wine club. So if that doesn't start pricking people's ears up, then I don't know what will, because that is exciting. That sounds great. People will think, oh, and you can too. So number one is definitely craft your story. Become a great storyteller. I'm a good storyteller. Because facts tell, stories sell, and always the truth is enough. Always, because if you start trying to add little bits extras in and say, no, I'm going this, I'm doing that, and they'll find you out. So remember, the truth is enough. So create your story and craft your story, but be truthful. Number two is always stay in phase one, and that doesn't matter whatever level you're at. So to me, I'm constantly keep getting new customers, new partners. Definitely look after your customers, and I took that on from my last company. If you look after your customers, the customers will look after you, because they will give you the referrals. So what I'm going to start doing this coming month with my customers I already got, I'm going to say I've entered all my customers into a raffle, and by the way, you won, and give them something wine related, like a stopper. So if you start looking after your customers, one, they won't cancel because, wow, I've just won a raffle prize. They will all of a sudden take a raffle prize off you and, oh, I'm going to cancel my auto shit now. So it cements that a little bit more. And again, you can, even if you had 10 customers, give 10 wine stoppers out. That's going to guarantee them staying with you, things like that. So remember, don't just get a customer and forget about them. Keep in touch with them and say, how was your wine? Did you enjoy it? By the way, you do know that we can get you wine for free. So you're constantly keeping in touch with them. Don't just get them once, and you want to keep that retention. But remember, stay in phase one. Always keep looking for new customers and new members. Definitely become passionate over the product. If you're not a massive wine drinker, become passionate over the opportunity, because we all know what sort of opportunity we've got, because our excitement will determine your success. If you went to people and said, oh yeah, I'll join this wine club, it's going all right, they're not going to buy into that. If you sort of like, by the way, I operate an exclusive wine club, having so much fun, it's going to be, it's your tonalities of your voice. So really be excited about and passionate about what we're doing. Definitely farm and don't hunt. So be normal, be human first, and avoid selling them. Don't try and spam Facey all the time trying to sell them. So again, be normal and let your attraction marketing they'll get them to ask the questions. They won't go to the other side of the road when they see you come in. They'll probably stay at the same side. Always remember, let the tools do the work. That's to me a must as well. So you're not saying too much. I covered that in the other part. So again, let the tools do the work, pique their interest, and then point them to the tools. Always remember your why. That is a big thing, because there's going to be times you think, you know what, is this working for me or is it not working for me? Remember that first day you joined and you passed your 200 quid over. You was excited. So your why is the big thing. Always remember it. Be yourself. Definitely be yourself. Don't compare to anybody else, because again, you've got to be authentic. If you're not authentic, you'll get seen straight through. Be a good copycat. Copy the right cat, but be a good copycat. But definitely 100% be yourself. Mandy hates this word, but have fun with it. You've got to have fun with it. If you do not have fun with this, then you're gonna have some bad days. You are gonna, but don't beat yourself up. Never quit on a bad day. That's what all the leaders say. Do not beat yourself up. If you're doing and prospecting 5-10 people a day, or whatever your goals are, you're eventually going to come across that. Yes, 100%. A big thing what Austin got through to me is stick and stay. Just stick and stay with that. Again, when you're having bad days, you might think, Charlotte, is it working? Not. Stick and stay, because we all know it's only 2 years old and we know where this is going to go. And one of my favourite quotes, and I'll leave it at this, is just do it. If you don't do it, if you don't do those, get it out there to your community, or don't say anything, or don't do anything, then it ain't going to work. You've got to get it out there. Don't procrastinate. Don't think, I've got to learn this, that, I've got to learn that. Just go and do it. Action, 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 and you'll succeed. And with that, Paul, I'm sort of enjoyed that. I didn't know how it went or how it come across, but I did enjoy it, mate. So thanks, buddy.
Well, it's 5 to 2 in the morning and everybody's still on, mate. So you've done a very, very good presentation there. So, no, honestly, brilliant. Absolutely superb training. Solo's even still on himself. So what does that tell you? That if he's still on, then you've absolutely smashed that. So, you know, in all seriousness, I know how nervous you was about tonight, because this is not you. This is coming out of your comfort zone. You are someone that likes to do a live and, you know, likes to, like you said, have fun, party, socialise. So to sit in front of a screen talking to the team is something, you know, completely out of your comfort zone. But I thought it was a fantastic training there, mate. So Mandy should be very proud of you, mate. And
Mandy, are you proud, Mandy? Say to Paul, you're proud. Go on, she won't say it. She can't say it. Mandy, say you're proud of your husband.
Right, so questions. Who's got a question? I've opened it up so I can see everyone's screen. So if you've got a question, unmute yourself and ask Raz a question.
I've got 5 pages of notes, so I don't need to ask a question. 5 pages. Look. I'll be reading them every night before bed now. Thank you so much. 2, 4. Oh no, 7 pages. Nice,
Denny, nice. Right, before someone asks a question then, or if someone's thinking of a question, I know you mentioned about personal development. I know it's a very, very important part of what you do. Yeah, I can see that. What advice would you give to someone that is just getting into their own personal development journey now?
I'd probably say start with the easy listening, definitely, and again, find somebody who you relate to. I always say to people when they first start, get the GoPro, Eric Warrior, because it's just such an easy listen. I do believe some of the Eric Warrior stuff is a little bit, because he wrote that 10, 15 years ago, and I do honestly believe that. And again, this is maybe Ray Igdon coming out. There's a new breed of networking now. It's changed since I started, but Eric Warrior is, to me, gives you, again, the action steps to actually go out into the field and do it. But as a philosopher and an easy listen and good fun, I love Les Brown as well, because I relate to that guy, because, again, the fun factor of him and how he brings it across. I'm more of an audio guy, because, again, with being on milk round, I can listen and work at the same time. If I read, within 5 minutes, I'm asleep, because to sit down with the hours that I used to work and the crazy hours that I work now, it's to me, it's hard to read. But listening, yeah, Les Brown. I always love Jim Rowan, and definitely, I think start off with the Eric Warrior, definitely GoPro.
Jerry's got a question. How did you tap into the German market through social media?
I got into groups. I've got into 3 groups now. The 3 groups is work with Germany, Germany opportunities, and Germany expats, which are the Americans as well. Because I thought I can't speak German or earned a Twarkat on sat. Oh, that's not German, that's France, isn't it?
Sorry, Raz, who was that? Work with Germany, what else?
Yeah, Germany opportunities and Germany expats. So there's obviously a lot of the Americans there. So the responses I'm getting from majority of them are from the Americans. I've sent 4 videos now. We haven't had any bites as yet, because I honestly do believe it'll be different sort of conversation once the wine's there, rather than the pre-enrollment. But again, I keep posting on a week-to-week basis, not on the same post, but commenting at the bottom, so it brings it back to the top. Mm-hmm. So again, get into groups, Jerry, where, again, I don't know, I suppose you can put anything in there, like caravans from Germany or wherever. And as long as you get into groups, and I do the same with Australia too, exactly the same as that. As long as you get into groups and start building a relationship. But the first initial post I put in was a picture of wine buckets and saying, having so much fun with wine, coming to your country soon. You know what I mean? So yeah, just things like, just be a bit creative and find a way of getting in.
I've got another question, because unless someone else has got another question, but I'll ask another question now. So You know, you spoke about the training when you was working like 70 to 80 hours a week as a milkman, and you're still working now, getting up at, you know, I know that you get up at stupid times or you go to work at stupid times. What would you say to anyone that if they, once they get home from their day job and they think to themselves, you know what, I can't bother tonight? Like, what fuels you? What is your motivation? Like, what is your why for you to do the things that you do on a daily basis?
Yeah, it's quite easy. I want to make my wife proud and kids proud and that, but I also want to, not the haters as such. I've never really had any haters as such. People say, oh, it will never work. So I want to prove them wrong. That's a big one for me to say. And that way, to me, with the way my mates talk, is financially as well. And say, because they say, how much you're earning now a week? How much you're earning now a week? This, that, another. And I've got no problem of telling people how much that I earn a week with this, because it's growing and it takes time. It's not a quick fix. You've got to be prepared to work. So the reason why is, I'm a big advocate of want to make my mum and dad proud as well, but it would be really just to stick it in there to lads who'll say to me, I told you it won't work, because they can't wait, and most people can't. They want to see you fail, if that makes sense. As much as they want to say to you, oh, well done, but they don't really mean it. And the only way that they'll say, wow, is when they see that new car roll up, or that new house comes, or this, that, other comes. So yeah, it would be nice to actually say, there you go, mate. And stick, not stick two fingers. I'm not that sort of guy, but I just want to I'll just give him a wink. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's how I do it. But I think it's how much my desire is so strong, and I do actually love life. I love my job. I've got a great family. I've got a lot of great friends, and I just love life. And I think if you can try and make somebody else smile as well, I know it's the old cliche, but if you're a nice person and go out there with a smile, then I think some sort of success comes your way anyway. If you're going out there with a miserable work was tough today, you can go back on my posts for the last 2 years. You will not see a negative post. You just won't. Unless somebody's nicked my phone and says that I'm a donkey or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And that happens quite a lot. But other than that, you will not see a negative post. And I think that's the impression we want it. Yes, is that real life? I suppose we can tell stories, and I won't say bend the truth. Of course, we have bad days, but I don't want to put that out towards the public. I want to be that positive, nice person who's always smiling, always happy. Do you know what I mean? So I don't care if I have to get up at 1 o'clock and go to bed at 12 o'clock. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Because it's got to be done. And I just think, enjoy it while I'm fit, I'm healthy. I've got a job anyway. So this is that extra to try and sort of get me reason why and get that financial and time freedom, not just for me, but for Mandy, and just to do the nice things and them extras. Do you know what I mean? We've had a good life and we enjoy life, but it's to get them extras. So you need to do all this and just, again, the biggest word, be consistent. Definitely consistency.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And some of us were on a training call yesterday with an Australian leader, nothing to do with direct sellers, but again, an Australian leader within the network marketing industry. And he's someone that I'm going to reach out to and see if he can get on one of our training calls. And he mentioned like a couple of key things that I picked up from that. Was the first one was your first 5 years in network marketing is your hardest. Now, start to think about how many people stay for 5 years. Like, how many people like last 5 years or more? Like, I've just gone past the 5 year mark from when I started to where I am now, but I would say I've only kind of done half of that at the most. So he said, 5 years is your warm up. 5 years is you grinding, like going through it all. But if you get past that 5 year gap, like, you set yourself up for life. But we know so many people that fail, or they quit on themselves within a week, within a month, within a couple of months, within 6 months. But it's all about, and as Raz said it tonight, doing your jobs on a daily basis. Daily disciplines done daily, like doing something on a daily basis, whether it is reading a book, listening to listening to a video, an audio, prospecting someone, getting on a call, speaking to someone, having a glass of wine to sample the product, to then go out and speak to people about it. But just doing something on a daily basis and mapping out like your days. Mapping out your days is so important. And the other thing that he said to me was that if you're doing this full time, and I have to watch it, but I can't remember. If you're doing this full time, you're looking at around about like 10,000 hours in network marketing before you kind of know that you're doing well. And 10,000 hours on a full-time basis is, I think, it's about 5 years, I think, if I'm right. So for the majority of people that do this, they do this on a part-time basis. So 10 years. You know, that's what you're looking at, like to really have like huge, if you want huge success within the network marketing profession, you're looking at like 5 to 10 years. And if you knew at the end of a 10-year plan, like your life could be forever changed, like you'd be completely out of debt, you'd be, you know, living the life that you've always wanted to do, and you're making, you know, your why has come true. If you knew that was going to happen at the end of 10 years, would you stick to it? Yeah, you would do. So that's what we need to go back to, is our why. You know, why did we part company with £200? Why did we get excited about direct sellers when the wine wasn't even here? You know, that's what we've got to go back to. Like, I go back to 2016, like back in December. Like, you know, I've been in it for God knows how long, but I still go back to my why, even though it changes slightly now and again, and different things happen and life gets in the way, but I've always got a why, and I'll always do something like every single day. So that's, you know, they're two major nuggets that I picked up from this guy. And as I said, I'm looking at getting him on a call in June. The recording's in the group anyway. So if you haven't watched it, watch it. It's on for about an hour, but it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant training. Right, we're gonna one more question, because I know like we've gone over tonight. So has anyone got like a final question for Mr. Anthony Raspin, Master Seller, Milkman of the Year for the last 27 years in 56 countries? Denny?
Yeah, it's not really to do with direct sellers as such, but Raz, what is your plan? You know, you said you don't want to stick two fingers up at your friends, you want to wink at them, but is your plan to eventually give up the milk, because you've done it so long? It's a part of you, and I know you really enjoy it.
I think, to be honest with you, the answer is no. I don't. And people must think, "Oh, you're crazy." That I absolutely do. You know, when you say love something with a passion, and I brought that in with the network marketing. You've got to be passionate about what you do, and I love it. That's so much passion. I could go from 3 days to 2 days, or to what I want to keep my hands in, because it's a great way. I've got 700 people there who love and trust me, and it's great for my charity work as well. I can sort of like stick a leaflet under the door. But I mean, we just raised over £2,000, you know, for that bike ride to Brighton. Yeah. It's hard to raise a couple of £100, but to raise over £2,000, and I like my picture and paper as a milkman as well. So it's like
caring the community.
Yeah, no, I actually enjoy it. I do buzz off in it, but do I like getting up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning? Some days, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Mandy kicks me out of bed some days. I think the milkman's going to pop around after I've gone out. You know? So, to be honest with you, so who knows? Who knows? Let's see where this goes. And I'm pretty excited for the future and for all of us, because the biggest one for me is stick and stay. And Austin always says it, and he says that for a reason. And again, you're going to have bad days. We've all had them. Just stick and stay, 100%.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Brilliant. Raz, really appreciate it tonight, mate. Absolutely good training. That is it, we're done. You're never going to be allowed back on the calls again.
Oh, silly for you.
Right, that's enough of him. Mute. Right, so we are back on Monday night with our team training call, and then next Thursday, I've still got to confirm it because I spoke to him tonight and his dad's ill, but hopefully, touch wood, Rashi Booth will be here with us next Thursday. Week after that, we've got Alicia. Week after that, we've got John Gilbert. And then we close the month of May with Joseph Newman. Joseph Newman made $80,000 by the age of 18 used every single penny to put it into his own education. So he's one that you're going to want to listen to as well. If any of you guys want to step up and be part of June's training, I am looking for someone in our group that wants to step up and host a team training call. You can tell your own story. You don't have to do any training, but I always want to try and keep someone. Raz, nope, you've done. You're back next year. So I'm always looking for someone within the community that wants to do that. I've got a couple of other people from corporate that I'm going to reach out to as well. So appreciate everyone jumping on as always. I'll get the link up in that group tonight within the next 10 minutes or so. But have a fantastic rest of the evening. Enjoy tomorrow. Enjoy the bank holiday weekend. And we'll be back again on Monday night. Raz, thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate it. Cheers, guys. Good night.
Night.
Night, everybody.